RadiantXela, and today I'm here with another deck profile for the Drabon Ball Supper card game. I'll be showing you a different approach than the previous two, which is of course going into the aggro variety deck construction as of this deck profile. The deck I've chosen is a deck that builds on consistency while still keeps in punches and keeps gaining the board advantage during the early game, while it might fall off a bit during the late. Or it could potentially keep it up with a few of the cards that I've included here. What I'm talking about is of course the Pan Ready to Fight card from Crossworlds. Okay people, so welcome to the Drabon Ball Super version of Red Deck Wins. This is the Pan leader from Crossworlds, as previously mentioned. She has 10,000 power and an auto that says when you play a battle card it gains 5,000 power, and then if that power is equal to or higher than 20,000 you do get to draw a card. Her Awaken is again the great one where you get to draw 2 cards and then flip her over, which is just great because she draws a lot of cards, as you can hear already. She keeps the same auto on the other side and gains the auto to draw another card, so potentially she draws 2 cards per turn and 1 card during your opponent's turn, because it doesn't say once per your turn, it says once per turn. So her auto can trigger if you manage to play cards during your opponent's turn, which is just really great. And with that in mind, I'll show you the first package of the deck. The play during your opponent's turn package. It's a bit smaller than it usually is. This is my double shot Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. When you combo with it, it auto activates. If your leader is red, you get to play it into rest mode. So it has 15,000 power, meaning that when you combo with this and play it, the Pan's auto activates. This reaches 20,000 power, and you get to draw a card. So not only does the leader keep this guy out when you combo with him by essentially sensor beating him, but you also get to draw into a card, meaning you've not really used anything by comboing with this. You've only gained board state and kept yourself at the same amount of cards in hand, which is just, great. So yeah, second card does almost the same. This is the new Pride and Justice Tubbo from Crossworlds. So what it does is that it costs 4 and it has counter attack. Play it from your hand and negate the attack. So it costs 4, and that's why I don't like it, but what I do like about it is it's permanent. So if any of the leaders are at 15,000 power, his cost is reduced by 2, meaning that you'll just have to pay 2 red to negate an attack and play a 20,000 beater to the board. That's crazy. That's really just downright crazy. And if you have Pan, as you do with this, it raises to 25,000 for that turn, and you get to draw a card again. So same stories with Vegeta, it really builds up. The secondary effect about readying when it KOs a battle card, I rarely ever use, because the turn after you combo with this, you're very likely to win. So yeah, sorry about that. So going into the play during your turn non-finisher package, we have 4 pint-sized Son Goku. It's mostly in here because red is awfully low on 1-drops that are not Saiyan Kappa, and it provides again some consistency. You play this and you get to look at the top 7 cards of your deck, add a Goku GT to your hand, so you still get that flow, you keep your deck going, and you keep the board state / hand advantage that we do so desire. 2 Rushing Warrior Pan. When you play this, you choose one of your red cards or one of your red leaders and give it a plus 5,000, and when you combo with this from the field you get to draw a card. Again, you play it, you gain the power, then you combo with it and draw. So it's basically the same as with Goku. It grants you a bit of board advantage in the early game, and then you bust it off to draw cards and keep your hand advantage intact. It's a pretty decent card. So for this guy, which is I don't get why most decks don't play a lot more of these. Bodyguard Logic. What it does is that he has blocker and a permanent that says if your opponent has a battle card and you don't, you can play this card, Bodyguard Logic, without actually paying for his cost. So those 3, yeah, let's just erase those and say that this is a free draw with Pan. If your opponent goes first and puts like a Majin Buu or Bulma or anything on the board really, you play this for free, you get a 5,000 bonus by Pan, and you draw a card, and you now have a blocker. It's a really great card for this deck, and I think a lot of other decks actually could use this, except decks that really want to build their board quickly. Okay, so a bit more offensive now. This is the promo, one of the first promos given out by BCC. So this is ability Unleashed Ultimate Gohan. It has 15,000 power again, which is like the magic number we're going for to draw cards with Pan. And it has an auto that says when you attack with it, you may draw cards, and if you didn't, it gets double strike. So you can either 20,000 double strike during your turn 3, or you can 20,000 draw 2 cards during your turn 3, because Pan also draws 1. That's basically the most common turn 3 play of this deck, I believe. Super combos, 400 euro. These are just super combos. You play them as you would always play super combos in red decks offensively to win. Really not much else to say there. I'm running 3 Unrelenting Assault Trunks. This is a recyclable 15,000 drop by Overrun 3, because during your end step, when this card is into the warp from the play area or deck, then you get to add it to your hand instead of just leaving it in the warp. So one of these at 15,000 power is a recyclable draw 1 card, draw 1 card, draw 1 card during each turn, meaning that you're never actually without options unless you're really unlucky with this deck. So yeah, that's why I play 3 of these, because of their recyclability. And then the first of the finishing powerhouses, I'm running 2 Super Saiyan 3s on Goku. This is the one promo from the first tournament pack, I believe. When you play this card, all of your red cards and leader cards gain plus 5,000 power, so it powers up your entire field. And it returns to the hand during the end of the turn, so your opponent can't really hit it with card effects, except if they're playing like Cell or Broly. And still there, then it's just another card in your advantage zone either way. So yeah, it's a pretty good finisher. Okay, now we're going into the hard finishers of the deck. Let's see here. We have 4 Grand Tour Spaceship. This is the primary finishing card. During turn 4, you really want to have assembled 2 of these in your hand to just play those and see what you get. It says look at top 7 and play a GG card from them that has 15,000 or less power. Or not GG cards, Son Goku GG, Trunks GG, or Pan or Giro, actually, to be exact. There, no mistakes were made. You want to search out your big finishers with this. And the most common play, I think, for me is one of these 3. The Quick Rush Trunks. It's just a 15,000 powered critical, but critical is one of my favorite effects. It gives a lot of board advantage, and with the red power-up cards like Pan, this becomes a 20,000 draw 1 card critical, which is an incredibly good play, actually. Then, adding to the finishing package, Determined Super Saiyan Son Goku. This isn't the finisher in itself, but it's still, again, a 15,000 critical, and it raises its energy cost once a condition has been met, which is when either player is at 4 or less life, which most people will be during turn 4. And then what you want to do is you want to EX evolve into this guy. This is the powerhouse. This is a card that can single-handedly win the game because it has double strike, and when it attacks, it rises again with plus 5,000 power due to its auto. So this is where you do the really big single punch, right? Because if this is rarely ever your first play of the turn, so it won't get the Pan bonus. I don't think it ever has, but it does get its own bonus and strike 2 times for. This is a 1-cost 55,000 attack. It's really good, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Unless this gets Mephubat, then your opponent is going to play some cards to get rid of it, and that's good. Now, the final blow is the upgraded Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku. It's the Fearless Pan, and this is probably, yeah, I just don't know. It's one of the best cards I've ever seen in card games. So when you play this, it has 15,000 power, so you can Grand Tour it. When you play this, all of your red cards and leader cards gain 5,000 power, same as the other guy that has the same statistics, but this also gives double strike. There's no reason not to play this if you have red cards. If your leader is red, you want to play this. It doesn't even matter if you have other GG cards, you just want to play Fearless Pan if your leader is red. Play it with Vegito, it doesn't matter. 5,000 double strike, it's insane. And in this deck that rushes the board early with maybe some slightly smaller dudes and then just hit 4 to 5 times with double strikers and double strike criticals that have been powered up maybe twice, that's just game breaking. It's really, really good. I don't really see why this deck hasn't been seen more play, but hopefully maybe this will let you. So strong matchups for this is of course Mega Freezer. This is really strong against Mega Freezer because of the critical and the double striking, which is the one thing Mega really doesn't like. It requires them to bust out all of their extra cards early game for control, meaning that they'll have less life for doing the part of Monica tricks and such. Post errata, Mega will have fewer problems with this because that deck will just want to Bloodlust Fearless Pan. But that means they'll have to Bloodlust Grant to a spaceship, and yeah, you get where we're coming from, right? Then you can just pick another card and then just lose the crits and still get power, and that's okay. Other strong matchups is the Goku Blue, I believe. As mentioned in my previous deck profile, that deck doesn't really add up to this. I also think this is fairly strong against androids because they also go for Self-Awakening and do not have the board control that Cell does. I think Cell is a strong matchup versus this, so I would say it's a weak matchup with this card. Because it removes the small guards before you can build up your field, and that's your overall problem. I'm not sure where Broly's at this point. My guess would be that this is strong versus Broly because it keeps drawing cards, and that means it'll just ignore Broly discards, or at least just move past them. But I'm not actually sure, because if Broly can manage to discard more than once per turn, then it will have the advantage because this just draws once per turn. So yeah, that's a bit about that. Changes to this deck I could make. Saiyan Kappa could go in instead of the Pint-Sized Goku. I've been testing a bit back and forth. I currently like Pint-Sized more because it adds to the hand without taking from your health, meaning that you get an advantage over other aggro decks. But Saiyan Kappa is definitely a worthwhile play. There's also the combination attack Pan promo. If you do so happen to have it lying around, feel free to use it, maybe instead of the Super Saiyan Freeson Goku promo. Okay people, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if my pairings are completely wrong for this deck. My name has been RadiantXela, and I will see you all next time.